Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I am putting my phone on Do Not Disturb. I look so much like an accountant today. I'm getting used to these new glasses. These are my new glasses. These are my new bifocals. I finally had to get some. I feel some kind of way. I don't know why. I feel like old people wear bifocals. I don't know. I don't know. I guess they're cute. They just make me look really smart. But I like them. Now that I kind of see myself on camera, I like the new glasses. Let me know what y'all think. But we ain't here to talk about my bifocals. We're here to talk about Ready to Love. We know over this past week, the huge explosion of Morgan bringing up Tony and Natasha. And the title of my video this past week was I Know Natasha is Pissed. I wanted so bad to know what Natasha thought about this past week's episode because, again, why are we bringing up Natasha? She went home week one. Natasha did an interview with Cameshia Reviews. Please check it out. Please listen to the interview for yourself. It is an hour and 38 minutes, but it's a good listen. It puts certain things in perspectives. I have a few follow-up questions if Cameshia ever does another interview with Natasha. It made that scene make sense to me. And I'm going to give y'all my 2 cents about it. Now, I'm not about to break down the whole interview because I ain't got an hour and 38 minutes to go through. I really want you all to go over to Cameshia's channel, give her a like, give her a view. It already has over 7,000 views. It's a good interview. Check it out. I listened to it today while I was at work. I had a good time. And I took a couple of notes because I really wanted to break down my 2 cents. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to give y'all my 2 cents. I want y'all to get in the comments, get in the chat, give me your 2 cents about what you thought about the interview. Let's jump right into it. Now, before I even break down my thoughts, I want to say up front, Angie, when it comes to two consenting adults having whatever kind of sexual relationship that they want to have as consenting adults, that's their business. It's no shame to it. Yes, other people shouldn't put other people's business out in the street. I don't agree with that. But since all the business is out in the street, I'm about to comment on it. And that's it. I'm just giving my point of view, or not even my point of view, my thoughts about what everybody has said that has been revealed so far. Now, the first thing I learned is that the reunion was filmed a long time ago. And I think we kind of touched on that with Ready to Love on the panel, Cameshia Reviews panel every Saturday afternoon. The reunion should be shot around this, maybe 5 episodes before the finale, to give people time to watch back the confessionals, to see what people were saying behind people's backs, who was really dating who. When you film the reunion right after the season is over, of course these people are still playing in each other's face. Of course people still might be cordial and not so we might not get a spicy reunion because they don't really know all the tea. So that was number one. I was like, oh, the reunion was shot a while ago. It's not going to be as spicy as I think. Though Natasha said the reunion was going to be good. She said there was all day. She think it might be 3 parts because it was so much drama. Is it drama we really care? Is it stuff we really care about? But let's get into what Natasha said about the issue at hand. She said, number one, she does not share her personal business on social media. I agree. I don't put too much of my personal business in the street. Number two, she don't do double standards. So if it's okay for a man to hit it and quit it, it should be okay for a woman to hit it and quit it too. Now, she ain't said nothing about hitting it and quit it. She just said we shouldn't do double standards. What's good for a man to do should be also good for a woman to do. And she said number three, and she said this a lot, and it kind of got Angie to thinking, like, she kept saying, I didn't open the door to this conversation, which means she didn't open the door to putting her business in the street for what she had going on with Tony. So she feels like she shouldn't have to jump through the door and be like, this is went like this and it went like that. Because she said it would make her feel defensive when if a woman wants to do whatever she wants to do with a man, it's her prerogative. Yes, ma'am, it is. But if the narrative is ain't nothing happened with Tony, I ain't sleep with him or blah, 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 then just say that. Why are we speaking up for all women not to be slut shamed, all women to do the same thing that men can do if the point of view is I ain't did nothing with Tony? All that backstory of I didn't open the door, for you not to have opened the door, you gave Cameshia, good old Cameshia, you gave her an hour, 38 minutes, 34 seconds. I'm looking at the video right here of good tea. Because to me, if we're not opening the door, I would have gave Tony the FU. Morgan, you ain't SHIT for saying what you said about me on national TV. Tony, you ain't ish for putting our business out in the street. Ain't nothing really happened like that. We was just talking and that's it. Or you didn't have to say nothing, because at the end of the day, Charlemagne, Charlemagne the guy from the Breakfast Club, he always says no one cares about the truth when the lie sounds so much better. People gonna believe what they want to believe, period. So if you really didn't want to open any doors, you ain't have to say nothing. But anyway, and mind you, I like you, Natasha. Like, this interview with Natasha is really good. It made me feel like I like her personality. I really wish we could have got. This is why I feel like people shouldn't be voted out episode 1, especially if you're gonna do lifesavers and shit. Stop cursing, Angie. If you're, because see, these glasses make me look kind of classy. I shouldn't be cursing with my glasses on. I really like the look of these glasses now. I see them in the camera. This morning I was having a hard time going to work because in the mirror I was like, oh, I just look like a nerd. But Angie, get back to the video. Back to the video. Especially if you're going to have lifesavers out there, just don't send anybody home week 1. Give us an opportunity to really get to know these people, because in the interview, I got to see Natasha's personality and I really liked her. I thought she would have been a fun cast member of this show. And I think if she would have made it past week 1, people probably would, we probably could have got to see some good love triangle between Tony, Natasha, and Morgan. But anyway, Natasha said they had an intimate moment, but intimate could mean anything from kissing. Look, I don't want to get into what her and Tony did, because hey, Evita girl, it's so much to this interview that I have questions on. So, and I'm just gonna say it like this again: no slut shaming. I believe that they all were having sex with, not an orgy, but with each other. I think Tony was screwing Natasha and he was screwing Morgan. And he probably was trying to screw Marcia, but Marcia was like, I'm just here to show my fashions on TV. Whenever y'all send me home, I'll go home. But I'm gonna come on here and show my fashions for as long as y'all let me. I really think that was Marcia, because it was clear Marcia didn't want nobody on that show. But anyway, I talked about that. We already talked about, yes, 2 grown people can do what they want to do. I was kind of shady in my notes. And I don't want to come off in this video being shady to Natasha. I just got follow-up questions. Like, it really was concerning where she was like, I don't want to open the door. I really don't want to say XYZ. But she was like, but if you ask me the questions, I'll answer. I'm like, girl, just bust the door open. Say what you got to say about these people. Read them down. Call them ain't ish. Whatever you got to do, Natasha, just go ahead and kick the door down and tear them down, because they show tore you down on national TV. Get on here on Cameshia and tear them down. You got questions too? I'm happy I'm not the only one. Yes, I have many questions from Natasha's interview with Cameshia. I'm happy I'm not the only one. So I can go in, Evita. Okay, I'm about to go in. Okay, let's go in. Okay, the first thing she talked about, I was point one. She said production told her that her and Tony dating outside of the show would be brought up on the show before, I guess before it aired, before the reunion. She didn't really break down all the timelines. But she said that she didn't know that her dating and intimate, like what Morgan did, she didn't really know that Morgan had something to do with it until a few days before. No, look at your notes, girl. A few days before the reunion, production told her, look, you and Tony dating will be brought up on the show. So she kind of knew her name was brought up on the show. But she said she was blindsided and did not know until the reunion, when she was sitting on the reunion couch, that bam, they put her personal business in the street and made it seem like she slid Tony a number and they were screwing all up in the car. Look, Natasha made it be very clear that it wasn't no sliding of the number. They both exchanged numbers. And she said before she even got to her car to go home after she was eliminated, Tony was texting her in the phone talking about, hey, I really like you. Can we get to go know each other? They text for a while, then they start dating. What got me? Look, forget these notes. Let me just talk off my head, because I feel like if I get into these notes, I'm gonna get sidetracked from my point of view. What got me is Natasha said her and Tony dated this entire process. Now I understand why Tommy said this is against the rules. What's the point of Tony being on the show if Natasha was the girl for you and you dating her the entire time? You just on TV to be on TV. Like that's one of my biggest follow-up questions. And you know, Cameshia is really nice to her guests. And sometimes, you know, I ain't an interviewer. I just get on here and say my 2 cents. So I ain't gotta be as nice. I can kind of, but I really want to know, like, Natasha was like, I don't understand why my name was brought up in it. I was off the episode week 1. But girl, you were still dating a cast member that you said the entire process. So if I'm Morgan, I'm pissed off too. Now, Morgan's anger was misdirected. I will agree with that. Right. She said they didn't stop dating until 2 weeks before the reunion. So you dated this man all the way up until he sat up in front of the Ferris wheel and gave Morgan some flowers. Now, we don't know if they said yes or no. Jesus have mercy. But I have questions. Because number one, somewhere in the interview, she said she felt hurt and betrayed by Tony because he was also dating Morgan. I want to know, what did you think he was on TV for? Because she said Morgan felt hurt and betrayed, but it was really her who was hurt and betrayed. I'm like, girl, what did you think he was on TV doing? And she also made it clear that, you know, yes, 2 weeks before the reunion, she made it clear that, you know, I told Tony at any time, you know, go ahead and do your TV thing. And, you know, we can always date later after the show. And she was like, Tony said, no, he wanted to still continue dating her and whatever and be on TV. But my thing is, why we keep giving men choices? Why we keep putting it in the man's hand to decide what's going down? Girl, if the man wants to be on TV continuing to date other people, and you said on the interview you a one woman kind of girl, you really ain't or not woman, but you know, single dating, you ain't into dating multiple people at a time, even though you're not exclusive, you just not really into still dating different. So if you know you're not that type of girl, why you make the choice Tony's? You're very intelligent. See, if it was Angie, and that's why I can only speak for Angie, I'm gonna be like, you know what, Tony, you still want to be on this TV show? Go ahead, do you. I don't want to take this opportunity from you, but I also don't want to see you because I ain't into the dating of the multiple people. And good luck. I hope you find love. And if you don't, you got my number. Call me when the show is over. But you know, your name was brought up because, ma'am, you were still in the process. You just wasn't on TV. And I can guarantee you, the same way people was getting in your ear telling you, oh, you know, he's still dating Morgan. Oh, you know, he was trying to get with Marcia. I guarantee you, somebody told Morgan, girl, you know, he dating Natasha. He ain't stopped talking to Natasha since episode 1. I guarantee you, the same way they whispered in your ear, they whispered in Morgan's ear. And let me tell you something, Natasha. If it went down like that, I wouldn't have been nasty. I wouldn't have called you ugly. I wouldn't have called you low hanging fruit. But I can understand, especially the mentality of a woman who has already said, not saying her mentality is correct, but we know how toxic she is. Of a woman who already said she got an issue with her men dating other people while they dating her. If she find out the entire time I'm on TV, getting to know Tony, dating Tony, getting rid of Lyndon, he getting rid of Marcia and all these people, and I'm thinking he the one. Mind you, these are the two most toxic people on the show, but I'm thinking he the one. But here's somebody whispered in my ear, you know he's still messing with Natasha. I'm probably gonna say some shit too. I'm gonna be mad and get on the TV too. Oh, so you still entangling with Natasha? You fucking Natasha and me. Damn it, I said I'm gonna try not to curse. But that's how I would have been feeling if I was Morgan. Let's put it on the table. Why I gotta confront Tony off camera? Let's let it be known. Because see, take Natasha out of it. We always say to these men, why you coming on a dating show if you got a woman at home? Like, what's the point of you coming on TV looking for love if you got a woman at home? So I understand that's what Morgan's point of view is. Like, I'm sitting up here, we on the episode before the finale. The episode before the finale. And I'm hearing, I bet you somebody told her, you know, he's still, because see, yeah, Tony might have told you 3 weeks in, I had something going on with Natasha, but he ain't tell you that he didn't break up with Natasha until 2 weeks before the reunion. Somebody whispered that in your ear, talking about, you know, he's still fucking with Natasha, girl. He lying to you. And that's why Morgan got on the TV upset. Now, again, she ain't have to say nothing about that lady looks. She ain't have to call her no low hanging fruit because Morgan, y'all sitting on the same TV show trying to get a spot with these weak ass men because ain't none of them no prize. Y'all on the same show wanting one of these men. So y'all on the same tree branch. But I would have been mad too. I would have been mad too because it's the same thing of being like, damn it, you got me out here on TV getting rid of Lyndon, getting rid of so-and-so, not giving anybody else a chance, and you still dating a girl from week 1. Like, why are you even here? And then vice versa to you, Natasha. What you thought Tony was on TV doing? I didn't know he was talking to Morgan. Okay, well, Morgan, but who did you think he was talking to? Like, I could see if you and Tony dating, and by episode 5, he back at home because it ain't work out. But you dating this man, and he done got to the last episode. What do you think he was doing by the last episode, ma'am? You just thought they was keeping him around because he was cute? Because you know, them y'all eyeballs. You know, I'm looking through my new bifocals. I ain't see no cuteness, but you know, these just my bifocals. Oh Lord. That's why this show is for entertainment purposes only. These people ain't looking for no love. These people ain't looking for no love. Let's go ahead and cancel the show. Should we cancel the show, y'all? Should we go ahead and tell Oprah to let this one go? Go ahead and let Carlos King bring us another A Love and Marriage Memphis or something. You know, I'll be on it. A mess. Let me see where I'm at in my notes in case I missed something. I think I address. See, I'm happy I ain't go off these notes because when I go off notes, I get off the point. Now, she did say they apologized. Let's get into the apologies of it all. Mind you, they didn't apologize when it happened. They didn't apologize at the reunion. Morgan sent Natasha a DM. I think she said a few hours or maybe the night before the episode came on, and was like, I'm sorry. I'm about to say some stuff about you tonight. I just want to apologize before you hear, something real generic. Morgan wasn't sorry. Morgan wasn't sorry. Because if you were sorry, you would apologize at the reunion. So Morgan could have took that apology and shoved it. She said Tony apologized, but it wasn't, nobody apologized at the reunion. So it's making me feel like they didn't really dig into this at the reunion, because see, to me, we need a reunion right now. Because I want to know how Morgan felt. I want to know how Morgan found out. I want to know who on the cast is snitching. Mind you, I ain't mad at you for snitching. Cause see, I would have said some shit too. I'm like, Morgan, girl, you on this TV confessing your love for this fool. He on here acting foolish, playing pool for your bed, and he talking about he wants you in the bed on the show, but he got Natasha in the bed at the house, girl. That would have what I would have told. No, I wouldn't have told. I ain't that messy. I ain't that messy. But I would have wanted to tell. I would have wanted to tell, and I would have been, in the building. I'm like, girl, when you tell her, tell me so we can go out together. I want to know who told, because that is kind of messy. Who do we think on the show is messy enough to tell? Now, this just for shits and giggles. If anybody from the show, ever watch this, I'm just being messy for fun. But who we think messy enough on the show to tell? I don't. Maybe you think Jeffrey? Maybe I don't think Cynthia. I don't. Maybe not one of the ones with kids. They probably got too much other stuff to do. But Jeffrey seemed kind of messy. Maybe Sue Ann. They do call her Advocate Sue. But no, see, she would have probably tried to have Tony's back. I don't know who. Maybe Mercedes. I don't know who messy enough to have told, but I'm gonna put it on Jeffrey, or because they would have had to be somebody still on the show. I'm gonna say still on the show, Jeffrey or Mercedes. Yeah, that's who I'm gonna give it to. Oh, you said it's time to cancel the show. It's just time to cancel the show, because now people just showing out for ratings. Nobody is really fine. Like, I don't think nobody this season is finding love. Nobody. Nobody. Like, they really just playing in our face by now. Natasha said she heard rumors about Morgan and didn't do anything until she was ghosted. I knew it. I knew it was Jeffrey. I knew it was Jeffrey. Because Jeffrey is kind of messy. And I ain't mad at Jeffrey. I ain't mad at Jeffrey for telling, because somebody should have told it. But again, outside of the nastiness, I'm not mad at Natasha for bringing it up on TV, because if you didn't want your name to be a part of this show, maybe you shouldn't be dating a man still on the show while he dating everybody else on the show. Like, I don't know what you thought was gonna happen with that. Let me still look at my notes. Yep. Because see, in my review, I said it can't be no entanglement if he broke up with Natasha in week 3. That ain't an entanglement. But this is a full-blown entanglement. And that was my question. I said, how are you hurt and betrayed when the person you dating is on TV dating? Like, you knew what it was. And then she kept saying the Tony that's on TV isn't the Tony she got to know. Really? Then she said she didn't see a clip of him exclusively dating Morgan. Girl, what TV show was you watching? Like, yeah, like, I ain't gonna put my son business in the street. He love to be saying he ain't exclusive. But that's them young folks. He'll be like, oh, it ain't exclusive though, Ma. I'm like, okay, it ain't exclusive. But okay, they might not have said the words exclusive, but be we seen Tony and Morgan be each other's number ones. We seen them kissing all in the mouth on the TV. We seen him gambling over bedroom assignments on the TV. I'm like, girl, what TV show was you watching? Because I seen a lot of Tony and Morgan exclusivity. But you know, that's just what she said to Cameshia. She did not have him a problem with him dating other people. I already talked about that. See, that's why I didn't want to read my notes. Then she said, I can see why production brought you back up, but you still dating someone in the process. Oh, yeah, I already said that. See, I already went through all my notes. She said Morgan should give her a public apology. I agree. And then she said Tony ghosted her around the time I guess 2 weeks before the reunion. Like right before it was time for us to wrap this up and kind of talk about what's going on with the show, she said Tony ghosted her, and she kind of heard, how the show was going because they had to do post, production meetings to get prepared for the reunion and things like that. And she said Tony wouldn't say nothing to her, and like they kind of broke up. And she was like, "Well, can we at least meet so we can have closure and put a bow on a relationship?" Girl, why everybody need all this closure and a bow on a relationship? Enough. Ghost you, give him the deuces and ghost his ass right back. Be like, okay, I know what page you on. Okay, I'm on the same page. I get it. Bye. If it wasn't that deep, it wasn't exclusive. Like, what kind of closure do you need? He picked Morgan. Girl, back to the drawing board you go. She said he did not want closure, and that's the end of my notes. And that's pretty much the end of the interview. They start talking about the reunion some more. She said the reunion is going to be real spicy. I don't have high hopes for the reunion because if they didn't dig into this situation to the point where Morgan and Tony gave you a public apology on television, it tells me that they ain't dig into this enough for them to feel, if they didn't feel the need to apologize. So we'll see. I kind of can't wait for the reunion. I really want to see the bad fashions because every season they be looking a mess, but I just want to see who looked the worst. And I want to see what they're going to address at this reunion. I want to know if Jeffrey going to admit to saying she told. This is where I'm at, Michelle. And this is where I'm going to wrap up this video. I am not a Morgan fan. I am not a Tony fan. But Natasha is not a victim. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was getting into. And ma'am, you knew this man was on a TV show and you still chose to date him for the entire process. Your name was going to be brought up. I'm surprised it wasn't brought up sooner. And that's where that was the perfect closure for that. I don't think you're a victim. I really don't feel as bad. Now, again, she ain't have to say you was ugly and y'all both swinging on that same tree branch looking for a man. So she ain't have to say nothing about no low-hanging fruit because y'all both swinging on it together and both swinging for the same man who ain't nobody prize. So, and that's it. And all this, I ain't opening the door. Girl, just say y'all was both fucking the same man and you're upset. And let's move on. Let's move on. I want to see since the reunion, Evita, since the reunion was taped so long ago, we aren't going to hear anything about Simone and her receipts because that happened so far after the reunion. That's why the reunion should have been taped like last week. But I feel like if the reunion was taped around last week, Jeffrey wouldn't have showed up. She wasn't about to show up after all that stuff came out. She barely could talk about it on the YouTube interview. So you know she ain't about to talk about it with Tommy on TV. But okay, you all, I'm about to wrap this up. I apologize for being late. If you were looking for me to go over the Love and Marriage Huntsville trailer, I'm about to do that next. I kind of walked in the door 10 minutes late from work, so that's why I started the videos up late. So I apologize for being late. I apologize if you were here at 6 and you have to be on the rewatch. Still let me know what you thought about my 2 cents. Again, no shade, Natasha. I just got some follow-up questions. I really just have some. I just want to know a little bit more. And that's it, y'all. Up next, give me 2 minutes. I'm about to go into Love and Marriage Huntsville. And then right after the Love and Marriage Huntsville trailer, I'm going to get into that new show, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. It's the all-black cast of Summer House. I never watched Summer House a day in my life, but I'm going to watch the black people. It's going to come on right after Real Housewives of Atlanta, May 7th. So I'm going to get into that trailer too. So if you're interested in that, come back. If not, I see you Saturday for Ready to Love. I'm going to be on the panel that morning, and then I usually do my Ready to Love review that night. So I see y'all later. Y'all think Tony and Morgan gonna say yes to each other at the Ferris wheel? We'll see Saturday. All right, y'all. Bye.